Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. I just finished watching the ANIMATIC pilot episode for Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. The title's ridiculous. I hate overtly long titles. I know there's a lot of isekai animes that do this, where it's just like a sentence. It should just be called I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. Even that's a little bit wordy, but the Pretty Please part, is that supposed to be like Pretty Sailor? The Sailor Moon thing? Is that supposed to be the joke? I don't know. I always find it stupid. It's stupid when Western animation does it. It's stupid when anime does it. I don't like the title. But overall, it isn't bad. I mean, it's not horrific, and it's not also the greatest thing in the world, which seems to be the only two opinions you're allowed to have on Twitter. You either got to hate it with all your heart and soul, or you're praising it like it's the second coming. It is so strange to see the discourse on X where people just go utterly insane for these things. But it's like 99% animatic, and there is like one spot it's animated and it's colored, and you can kind of see the colors they're using. Pretty fun. Basics of the story is there's this girl who is a magical girl, think Sailor Moon, and she doesn't want to be that anymore. So she just wants to go to regular school and do regular normal girl things. And I guess the bad guys followed her to this new place, and she ends up having to fight him. She meets a friend. The friend loves the fact that she's a magical girl. She hates it. Her friend loves it. They become friends at the end. That's the basic setup. Okay, not the most original thing to deconstruct magical girls, you know. It's been going on for decades now. But this one is more going to be on the funny side. It's not going to be, hopefully, especially with this art style, I don't want it to be like how certain animes will go and make it like super people get killed and their lives are destroyed. And I'd rather it be I don't want to be pigeonholed into being a hero when I just want to live a normal life. I'd rather have that storyline. Hopefully it stays to that. But overall, the character designs I like. The only problem is, if I showed you this and said, how old is this character? If you said 7, I would be, okay, that's a pretty good guess. She's 15. Why did she look like a tiny little girl? That's super freaking weird. I always find that to be strange. It was like that in the Owl House. If you just the way the people acted, same way this girl acts, is how Luce acted in that show, acted like a little kid. You would expect this kind of behavior from a 7, 8, maybe a 10-year-old, not a 15-year-old girl who's 3 years away from being an adult, and you're acting like this. It's just strange. It would have been better if these girls would have been 11 at most, but 15, that is so weird. So let's just get into the episode. Let's do it like a regular review. There's lots of quirky humor. Most of it falls flat on me. I guess I'm just not, I don't like this type of comedy. It just seems very, it's right on the nose, and you can just see it coming from a mile away. And then so it opens up. Let's get into the episode. She's running and she's talking about her life. And then she's like, why am I running? Oh, I could just walk. And she's being weird because, all girls are weird. She gets to the door of the school and she can't wait to go in, but she's kind of blocking the door. Another girl's like, oh, can you get out of the way? And she's like, oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go get inside. I was like, oh God, it's loose. It's loose all over again. Is this the only personality main female characters can have? Is this personality? She asked the girl, hey, I'm brand new here. Can you please show me around? That'd be very nice of you. So go, we have the same class. She can follow me. They get a pop quiz on day 1. Again, has that ever happened to anybody? Ever in the history of school? That's just a weird thing to happen. She's super smart. At least she's not a complete idiot. She's just a social idiot, which is a little bit different because you had like Luce who was an academic idiot and a social idiot. So at least she's smart, which is nice, but she doesn't throw it in your face smart like certain, I say Moon Girl, where she's like, I'm the smartest girl that ever lived. She's not like that. So she finishes the test early. She sees this little like star guy floating outside, and I'm like, oh, this must be like her magical pet thing. Sailor Moon, Luna, and they always had like an animal that was your little buddy. She's like, oh God, my little stupid guy found me. Gets dismissed from class because she finished her test early, and she just wants to get away from this guy. She's like, hey, just leave me alone. I don't want to be this stupid magical girl thing anymore. She's like, oh, it's your responsibility, and you locked me away. How dare you do that to me? I'm the guardian or whatever, and you this is your duty and your responsibility. I never liked the idea of running away from responsibility. I never liked storylines where someone has power, strength, a special ability, and says, you know what, F it. I just want to do tests and have sleepovers and crush on boys, and I don't want to save people's lives. Ugh. I always hated those storylines. That's why I never liked Frozen. Ugh, it's so stupid. But so that's pretty much the guy goes, hey, take this little star chip. I guess this is what she uses to transform, I think. And just in case, you never know. She's going into the lunchroom, and this is the first thing I really hated. I dislike cussing. So you see these little boys. Again, they're supposed to be 15. They look like they're 7, saying the F word. I don't like it. It's not necessary. I don't need you to. My show's for grown-ups, and grown-ups say the F word. I have yet to watch an animated project where people cussed and it sounded natural. And it wasn't just thrown in there just so you can say this is for adults and not little kids, even though their art style is 1000% for little kids. She sits down at the table with that same girl she met in the morning and says, oh, can I please sit here? And the other girl's like, oh, I never had any friends because I'm a loser. And she's like, oh, that's so cool that you're a loser. Because she just thinks the idea of being under the radar to be really, really cool. This guy attacks. And he's like a Tuxedo Mask character, but a bad guy. The bad guy version of Tuxedo Mask. And he starts doing his whole speech of a bad guy. The other girl, the nerd loser girl, is reading like a Sailor Moon manga, and she calls it's like Moon Sailor. Please, for the love of God, change that line. Call it something else. This just screams lazy. Like, oh, I couldn't think of a funny spoof on Sailor Moon. I'll just call it Moon Sailor. That is so bad. So she's so cool. She's like, oh wow, just like in my manga. And then this guy is looking for that girl. He doesn't know that that's her. Is that the joke? That he's so stupid he doesn't realize that when she's not transformed that he doesn't know that's her? Because he doesn't seem like he knows that's her, because she starts talking crap to him. He's like, hey, how dare you speak to me? I don't even know what you are. You're so beneath me. So he doesn't know that that's her. The dramatic pause. I don't know. That's not funny. It's really, really stupid. So he's going to like shoot a beam at her. Then her best friend holding her manga is like, you know what? I looked up to these heroes. You know what? And here's my chance to be a hero. I'm going to stand out and say, you know what? You can't hurt my friend. And she's going to like take the magical blast from her. Kudos for the friend. I like this girl. The girl with the glasses and the beanie. She's cool. She gets an A+ for my book, because even though she is a self-confessed loser and did a heroic thing, she deserves to be a magical girl, not the other girl who just thinks it's stupid and dumb and a waste of time. When we need real heroes, this girl with the glasses, she's my hero. She jumps in front of it, but then her friend's like, oh, I guess I gotta have to transform. She blocks it, does a really cool pose. I like it. And then he's like, oh, so you're here. He didn't realize it was her, and he still doesn't know it's her. Then her friend starts to fangirl out about her being a magical girl, and she does a magical transformation. That's a thing, and it even happens they did it in He-Man, where he gets a whole full magical girl transformation. But it happens instantaneously. And it's a cool design. I like her hair. I like her costume. She's going to do battle with this guy. She uses her magical thing to summon a weapon. And it's just a lead pipe. And then it goes into like actual animation. So look, you can see the colors here. They're a little muted. I'm assuming those are going to change. But I do like the hairstyle. I like the outfit. It looks really, really good. So she just makes a lead pipe and just like beats the crap out of his legs. Like cripples him. I know what I'm done with. I don't ever need to see ever again in an animated project for the rest of my life. The humiliation rituals where the bad guy doesn't have a cool fight. They have to like humiliate them. It's weird. They did at the end of the Owl House where it's like, oh, they all do like a stomp down on the main bad guy. This guy's supposed to be like pathetic, but she like breaks his legs in like all kinds of crazy ways. I'm like, oh my God, that's actually disgusting. Like, it'd be better just to kill someone than to like cripple them. Because look at his legs. I know it's supposed to be a joke, but how serious are we supposed to take what's happening? So she like cripples him and he disappears. She does mention that it's like, oh wow, he's never used magic before. So what was this guy's powers if he didn't have his magic abilities? And her friend's like, oh wow, that's so cool, you know, being able to transform and everything and being a magical girl. Then in a reverse, she has a magical de-transformation. So instead of turning into the magical girl, she turns back into the normal girl. But it's like done in the big showy transformation, but in reverse. Okay, that's a little clever. Then the bad guy gets back to his master and he's like, oh, I located her. You know, at least that was good. He's like, oh yeah, I suppose, but he got his butt kicked. Then we get the closing credit. I like the look. I like the vibes. The music's good. And the ending title, the ending card. Not bad. There's a couple of things I dislike. I don't like the idea that she's 15. Look at this right here. That's a 15-year-old girl. What is this perpetual, I want to act like a 7-year-old forever? This little kid, I'm just a little baby idiot, or I'm just a silly little girl. What is there people who want to live that way? Like you're 15, start acting like it, or at least just say the characters are 10 years old. Then I can say, okay, whatever, they can act a little bit like that. But 15-year-olds, it's really weird. The cussing, I don't like it. It just does not belong in this show. I don't want to hear it. Characters randomly dropping F-bombs, do not want to hear it. I do like the friend. She's a hero. She did the right thing when the push came to shove. She protected her friend, who's been her friend for all of 10 minutes, was willing to die for her because she knew that was the right thing to do. I love that. That was great. Music's good. Characters they're fun enough. I like the character costume designs and everything. I just wish they weren't such older teenagers. I don't know. I harp on it. I can't stop harping on it. It bothered me in the Owl House where it was just so much easier to think of the characters as 11 and 12 and not like 15 and 17. It just my mind doesn't, the wheels don't spin that way. It's just weird. But overall, okay. I have more interest in this than I did that wrestling show where I just gave up after one episode because it just didn't do anything for me. This seems like it might have some legs. In the comments below, do you want it to be fun and just be like a fun comedy, or do you want it to be like tragic backstories and like super sad stuff? I don't know if it matches this art style. It all depends how they weave into the story. Like maybe she ran away from being a magical girl because people died. Like maybe she had a bunch of other like Sailor Scout type friends and they all got killed because they were trying to stop this evil. But this guy seems like a complete Dorcas loser. So I don't know how, he must not be the only bad guy. I don't know if they should go dark and, cerebral and deconstructing the magical girl. Being a hero is awesome. If I had superpowers, I'd be a hero. I don't know what this whole idea of like, I don't want to be a hero. I hate the idea of having powers. Too damn bad. You're there to help people. That's your lot in life. Save people's lives. You got the abilities. Please do it. Hopefully she comes around and learns that being a hero is a good thing. Being a magical girl and helping people is a wonderful thing. But yeah, pretty pleased. I don't want to be a magical girl. Pretty decent. Give it a number. Out of 10 is perfection. 5 is okay. 7.5. You did pretty good. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.